Very good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Mendoza in Argentina. It's the penultimate day of action in the Women's Champions Trophy, and we've got the first semi-final. It's an Antipodean affair. It's New Zealand against Australia. Well, what a day we have in store for us. What a game we have in store for us. In fact, we've got the first sort of clouds in the sky since Monday, and I think both sets of players will appreciate the little bit of cover that gives them. It won't be such an intense heat. It's still 30 degrees plus here in the foothills of the Andes. The sun is just having that intensity taken out of it by the clouds. Well, these two know each other very well indeed. They did three-series test match, or three test series not so long ago, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But first we have the national anthems of both teams. New Zealand's first, and then Australia's. These two have met 9 times previously in the Champions Trophy. Australia have won 7. They have drawn 1. And New Zealand have won 1. 3-2 back in 2011. Well, here is the New Zealand lineup in the semi-finals in the Champions Trophy for only the second time. And they'll be hoping that they can go one better than they did in Amsterdam, in 2011. They beat Korea 3-2 in the bronze medal match on that occasion. Can Mark Hagar's team go one better, at least one better, make it to the final here in Mendoza? Hagar, of course, a former Kookaburra, and he's up against the Hockey Roos here today, but this is a Hockey Roos team that are full of goals. And watch out for number 7, Jodie Kenny. She's the tournament's top scorer. 5 penalty corners to her name. And there is Adam Cummins, who will be looking to get the better of Australia's near neighbours. So the two umpires, this one, Sarah Wilson from Scotland on the far side, on the near side, Mariano Rado of Argentina. Well, these two met recently, as I mentioned, in a 3-test series. They drew the first one 2-2. New Zealand were 2-0 up in that one. Australia won the second 3-2, scoring a goal in the last 30 seconds. Emily Smith breaking Black Sticks' hearts. And in the third, New Zealand were 2 up, 3-2 up, but they drew it 3-0. Ash Nelson scoring 30 seconds from time. So the Black Sticks will be hoping that they can turn the tables on Australia here. New Zealand get the first semi-final of the 2014 Champions Trophy underway. Attacking the goal to our right-hand side in the all-black strip. Australia in the green and gold. And it's Casey Easton on the front foot for Australia from the start. Here's Emily Smith. Smith dropping it back in towards towards Amelia Spence, excuse me. Spence on the free hit and Spence into the circle. And it's a free hit to New Zealand. Joining me, Charlie Broom, in the commentary box for this one, the former England and Great Britain player Mel Clulo. And Mel, fascinating game in prospect. Australia, we know they're very fast starters, but New Zealand showed plenty of legs and fast running against England.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Australia in this tournament. They're probably the one and only team who really come out in this first quarter, all guns blazing.
We've got a first referral. Sophie Cox pretty sure that's come off the foot. Mariana Rado's missed it, so we're going upstairs.
Yes. Okay, I'll take a look. Thank you.
So let's have a look then. See if New Zealand have referred wisely.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Mariana, there is an Australian foot. It's a penalty corner, and New Zealand keep their referral. Thank you, Carol.
So, penalty corner inside the opening minute for the Black Sticks, and they've already scored 5 penalty corners in this competition, 3 of them by Anita Punt, the captain. She's at the top of the circle, alongside Brooke Neal, number 9, and number 4, Olivia Merry is also there. Merry now takes up her position on the edge of the circle. It looks like it's going to be Anita Punt. Punt scores! And New Zealand have the lead inside the opening minute of this game. It's New Zealand 1, Australia 0.
Fantastic drag flick by Anita Punt. The trapper moved slightly across before the injection comes in, and we've said it, how many goals are being scored in that particular part of the goal? Stick side of the goalkeeper. Really difficult for Ashley Wells. Does she go with her stick? Does she go with her pad? And she's gone with the stick. And I think, to be fair to this New Zealand side, a lot has been made about the players that have retired and who aren't actually here. But they are the underdog, and they've really, really impressed in this tournament.
So, Australia, the team that have got out the blocks the quickest in this competition in all their matches, find themselves a goal down. Now, how will Adam Commons' team respond? From their point of view, they've got 59 minutes in which to get back on level terms, so they've got plenty of time to do it. They will have their chances, of that there is no doubt. It's how clinical in front of goal are they today. Well, we mentioned about the Black Sticks not wanting to give away penalty corners. Well, the Hockey Roos now know that they can't give away cheap penalty corners. Here's Eddie Bone on this left flank for Australia. Playing it up towards Slattery. Slattery's in round the back because Neal's missed it. Slattery still going. Chance here for Spence maybe. It doesn't fall for her. Cox brings it away, but it's a free hit to Australia on the edge of the circle. Taken by Bone. Fired in. Slattery gets a little touch to it, but Rutherford makes a save. Bone. Let's take it herself. Round punt. And again, and it comes in towards Slattery. Slattery fouls Brooke Neal. It's a free out for New Zealand. Punt throws the aerial down the line. There's nobody in black down there. Here is McMahon. Here's Kenny. Look at the pressure being put on Jodie Kenny, but she keeps her head and finds Easton, who in turn finds Flanagan. Flanagan. Back to McMahon. Carrie McMahon to Jodie Kenny. Oh, Kenny hasn't got ahead of that aerial at all. And Webster pounces to pick up possession. Let's see. Sideline ball, which will be taken by Gunson. Good work from Charlton. Charlton takes it to herself and tries to play it in field off Slattery. Free hit which Hayward takes, and Hayward's overrun it, and a chance here for Australia to break. It's a 4-on-3 situation as Dwyer brings it forward. Dwyer tries to cut it back inside. Neal clears it to Mickelson, and the Black Sticks survive. Lovely ball forward if Webster can get on the end of this, too far in front.
Just a great start to the game, both sides wanting to attack, and if you're going to throw defenders higher up the pitch and turn the ball over, there's going to be a counter-attack situation.
Nance's in round the back, Slattery's unmarked. Rutherford's come walkabout again. She did that the other day against Japan and they paid the price, and she obviously hasn't learnt because she's come once more. Was replaced in goal by Georgia Barnett for the Netherlands game, and Barnett did very well in that Dutch game. And the second time that New Zealand have drawn against the Dutch, and it comes. It's solid sticks from Roberts. Flanagan. Quickly taken by New Zealand, and Mickelson brings it forward. Lovely chance, Mary! Oh, it just bobbled for her, but here is Curtis. Goalwards it goes, but Kenny's there, and just that bounce in front of Mary meant she didn't want to take the shot. As Punt puts it back in, it's long corner. What a start, Mel Clulo.
Absolutely brilliant by the Kiwis. It's a fantastic lead by Olivia Mary. She initially sort of cut infield and then cut back out again, and Stacey Mickelson has started this game where she left off against England the other night.
Mickelson used to play further back. King with the forceful challenge. Mickelson, who started, usually plays further back in the park, has been put up into the midfield or the front line. Try and give it more of a cutting edge to make Mark Hagar's side, and it's worked so far. Mary again with a good lead, plenty of space. Flanagan's going to have her work cut out tonight or this afternoon if Mary's going to lead like that all day. Flanagan's ball is cut out by Curtis. Is this going to make it through to Grant? It is. Grant into the top of the circle. Chance here for Curtis. Wow, she almost took too long about it. If it had been a snapshot, I think she beats Wells, but because she winds it up, Wells has a chance to get down.
It's a great ball in, and I think she'll be disappointed with that shot. Obviously it is on target, but ideally what you want to try and do there, I think she has tried to do it, is actually squeeze the ball into the turf and loop the ball over Wells in goal. But really positive signs by New Zealand in this game so far.
Kenny winds one up. It's gone all the way down the other end for Black Stick 16. Roberts, through punt, up to Mickelson. Now this bounce is kind for New Zealand, and Flanagan could be in trouble, but Flanagan does well, almost runs into trouble. I thought she was going to turn into Webster. She's given it to Attard. Attard gets the free hit. But we've seen from New Zealand in their game against England in the heat, as we look at Flanagan again, they're full of running. They will run and run and run for 60 minutes. There's no issue with the engine of the Kiwi girls.
Absolutely not. Both teams will be able to run for 60 minutes, and that's why I think it's going to be such a fascinating game.
Charlton just asked to calm down on her tackles. Here's Dwyer, Kirsten Dwyer. Attard. Attard's winding one up, and it comes. Rutherford has to make certain. And it comes again. Good work from Mary on McMahon. McMahon with a long corner. McMahon. Try and turn it in first time, but the New Zealand defence stands strong. Here's Merry. Runs into Nance. Nance picks it up. Ooh, drills it into the body of Rose Kettle. Kettle, I think, yeah, she's feeling that. Yeah, just gives the all clear sign to the bench. Charlton to Roberts. Roberts to Hayward. Hayward trying to go around Attard. Webster loses out. Nelson brings it forward. Webster gets back, and well, no more tackles like that is the message from Mariana Rado. Bone to McMahon. Flanagan. Webster wins the free hit off Bone. New Zealand take the chance for a line change. Gunson to Roberts. Slap ball up the park, goes out for a sideline ball to Australia just outside their 25.
I think what New Zealand are doing really well is they're asking questions of the Australian defence, and because Australia like to push up and really cramp the space that the opposition are allowed to play in, New Zealand are keeping forwards fairly high and stretching the game, and it's just making the defenders unsure.
Here's Nance. Nance bursting into the circle. Nance up against Rutherford. Rutherford gets across. Chance here, but Roberts is there to take the ball away for New Zealand. Dwyer. Oh, half a touch from Ella Gunson with Gabrielle Nance standing behind her.
Yeah, it's good skills by Nance here, and I think actually Rutherford does really well. She stays on in near post and she makes Nance make the decision. If the goalkeeper comes out, more often than not the forward will just drag the ball infield and just slot the ball as they're still moving.
Gunson down the line, picks out Mickelson. Mickelson though loses out to Bone. Here is Bone. McMahon. Flanagan. McMahon. Pressure comes from New Zealand. Flanagan back to McMahon. Moves the ball all the way through, but King gets a stick on the ball. Hayward. To Cox. Cox to Webster. Webster feeds it back to Curtis. Curtis tries to get it across, and Kirsten Dwyer's there to get it away. Smith tries to crack one down the line. Cox still going. Cox into the edge of the circle, wins the free hit. On the reverse sting is Charlton, wins the sideline ball. Charlton, oh dear. Pick out Webster. So inside the final 2 minutes of the first quarter, and the first quarter is fairly race by. New Zealand 1, Australia 0. The goal coming after about 1 minute and 10 seconds of play, courtesy of a Anita punt and a wonderfully worked penalty corner.
We've complimented Australia at how well and how quickly they've started every match, but New Zealand beat them to that one today, and I think on the balance of play they probably do deserve to be 1-0 up at the quarter stage if the scoreline stays as it is.
Trevor Webster loses out to Nelson. Webster and Nelson trying to win the free hits. It's a sideline ball to Oz. Off the foot of Webster, so Australia get the free hit. She's Kirsten Dwyer standing over the ball. Flanagan now at the centre of the defence. Barn. Back to Flanagan. Nice ball from Flanagan up the middle of the park to Spence. Amelia Spence now. That's Charlton for company. Sophie Cox gets the ball out of play. Spence trying to find Nance. So New Zealand will take their time here. Into these 18 seconds remaining. Bricknell managed to see 8 seconds disappear off the clock. Thompson. Good work from New Zealand. There is the quarter time hooter, and it is the Black Sticks that are in front against Australia. The captain, Anita Punt, makes the quarter time score. New Zealand 1, Australia 0. So, Melclulo, Australia with it all to do here in this game.
Yeah, probably the first time we've seen them under any kind of pressure in this tournament, maybe the exception being the Argentina game, and I'm really interested to hear what the coaches have got to say at quarter stage. I think Adam Cummins in particular will be pretty disappointed with the way that his team's played in that first 15 minutes.
The other one is over here. And then when the ball goes that way, that one comes down and that one goes up a little bit. At the moment, we've got Casey in the middle who's roaming both sides, and the other ones are too far away around the halfway. Yep, you've got to be lower, midfielder. So that last one you receive is a good one.
Well, that's the thoughts of Adam Cummins, and now let's see if we can hear from the other Aussie in the coaching box, Mark Hager.
The inside forward tracking there. Hold your zone, peaky. Once the ball goes from here to here, get out quick. Right, get out quick and put pressure on that. I don't want you to drop off on this screen. Who cares? Once it goes from there to there, get out. Don't deny that ball. And we'll kiwi that way. Okay, otherwise what's happening, we're dropping, bringing it up, and then manipulating it. George is saying defensively we need to pass off earlier and play zonal back there. Okay?
There you go, thoughts of both coaches. So we didn't get the full speech from both coaches, but you could see Mark Hager and Alan Cummins both fairly relaxed at that quarter time. No real anxiety in their voices, which is good from the players' perspective. Stacey Mickelson and New Zealand get the second quarter underway. They lead by a goal to nil. Anita Punt converting a penalty corner after 65 seconds of play. Now, what do you make of the half-time chats, or what we heard of them?
I think Mark Hagar's obviously going to be pleased with the way that his team's come out and played, because they've got the 1-0 scoreline, but it is interesting to see the areas that he's not happy with. The passing over, you heard him say that they're playing a zonal defence and they need to pass the players over quicker. If they don't, then it leaves a channel open that can be exploited by the Hockeyroos. And
here goes Anita Punt. Punt to the edge of the circle. Couldn't quite feed Cox, but Anita Punt, a key part of this New Zealand team. tracks back well. And now she does fine. Sophie Cox. Cox up against McMahon. Doesn't really get hold of that. And Kenny's there. Get it away. Nelson. Deflected infield by Gunson. Here's Hayward. Yeah, she's got no support here, Pippa Hayward. And, in fact, it was Liz Thompson, excuse me. Good shout on Flanagan. The pressure coming. Bone. Charlton. Foot from Charlton. Nanscon takes it quickly. Nanscon runs straight into Neil. Oh, Thompson's just taken her eye off the ball.
Really good defending by Neil because she watched the ball not Nanscon's stick as it's waving above the ball.
There goes Nelson. Paris, in fact. And this is Nanscon. Into Webster. This is McMahon. Kenny. Flanagan up against Mickelson. Off the foot of Cox, who says it hits the knee. Kenny, and it goes. Smith's not far away from that. Not near enough to make a lunge for it. Charlton. To Neil. To Thompson. There's McMahon. Eastham. Well, it's almost a great pass to Flanagan. Flanagan indeed does have possession. Flanagan, ball across the circle, it's behind everybody. There is Rebecca Dwyer. Nanscon to Eastham, space on the right-hand side for Australia if they can work it down there. Here's Flanagan in that right channel. First touch wasn't a good one and allows Mickelson to get back and get on the ball. Mickelson up to Cox. Cox will try and go past Jodie Kenny, but Kenny gets the stick on the ball. Gunson. Charlton. Into Hayward. Nanscon tracks back well. Hayward wins possession back, and this is Thompson. Tackled by Casey Eastham. Kenny throws the aerial, looking for Ash Nelson.
Feel a little bit for Ashley Nelson there. She was in space as Jodie Kenny threw the ball. I felt it was the New Zealand defender that made that dangerous. Samantha Charlton running in from distance.
Nanscon takes it quickly. Nanscon up to the circle edge. Here's Smith. Smith trying to get the shot away, but she's won the penalty corner. Off Sam Charlton. Good play from Emily Smith, and Australia get their first penalty corner of the match.
Yeah, it's great play by Emily Smith. She couldn't get the ball out from underneath her feet to get the shot away herself. Rolls it onto Charlton's foot for Australia's first penalty corner of the game.
distance there, as is Flanagan. Flanagan absolutely ripped one into the roof of the net for a penalty call against Japan in the quarter-final. My money will be on Kenny here. And it comes, well, it's gone to Flanagan, deflection, and it's gone wide. Good running from the New Zealand defence. Nelson round the corner, 16.
It's really good running by Webster here. Anna Flanagan opting to flick the ball low. Whether they were looking for tips and touches in and around this penalty spot with Ashley Nelson, I'm not sure, but really good running, gets low, gets the touch, takes the pace off the ball, and Rutherford puts it behind for the long corner.
Mickelson. Can't beat Easton on that occasion. Easton. Mickelson.
It's really impressive defending by New Zealand. We're so used to Australia, the ball carrier having 2 or 3 options ahead of them. And we saw there with Casey Easton running through, the work rate from the All Black, from the Kiwis, made it really difficult for her to have a pass. And they're stifling the creative players from Australia at the moment.
Flanagan, Nance in plenty of space on this left flank for the Hockey Roos, but round they come. Kenny. Attard, McMahon. Kenny. Last off Thompson. Slattery takes it long corner. And Dwyer. Right, and it's the foot of Rebecca Dwyer that gives the Black Sticks the opportunity to clear their lines. Gunson in some space on this right flank. Little look up. And that was meant for Curtis, but Curtis couldn't bring it under control. She had punts on the inside at the 45-degree angle. Nance not giving King enough space. Nice ball in field, and Kettle can drive to the top of the circle. Kettle still going, tries to feed it into Merry, wins the free hit. And Merry, penalty corner. Sarah Wilson on the far side helping out Mariana Rado, and it's a second penalty corner for New Zealand.
Australia possibly claiming that it's a high ball.
What's your question? It's a height? Okay. Alan, you listen to me? Yes, you're looking for a high ball. High ball, yes, thank you. Mariana, I have a decision. The ball was high. Yes. It's a free out from Australia. And Australia keeps their referral. Okay, yeah, my bad. Yeah, bye guys.
So a quick decision from Cal Matchett, the video umpire. We didn't really get to see the replay, but it looked questionable, so a good referral from the Hockey Roos. That's a magnificent ball, well brought down by Kirsten Dwyer. Dwyer against Curtis, Dwyer around Curtis, Dwyer on the reverse stick, and it comes. Here's a chance here for Rebecca Dwyer. If she can get the shot away, she can. Nance comes in front of the keeper, and Rutherford makes a good save. Nance gone again. Flick comes towards the goal, and Rutherford is there once more. Charlton brings it away. Composed defending from the Black Sticks so far in the game. Taken quickly by Attard. Nanskon. Nanskon, lovely bit of skill into the circle, back it comes. But Roberts is there. And wins the free hit off the foot of Attard.
This is Nanskon's effort. It's at goal. She'll be happy with that. This was Dwyer's effort. I mean, look at the positioning of Nanskon in there, prepared to get something on the ball, and it's brave goalkeeping by Rutherford. Takes the ball and takes a hit at the same time.
Here's King. And Punt does well. Punt comes back in field. Leaves Kenny for dust. Lovely ball inside. And Cox tries to make something happen. Goalward by Merry. And Wells has to react quickly. Neil. So Roberts. Roberts inside Slattery. Roberts has a little look up. Plays in King. King down this right flank. In it comes. And Wells clears behind for a long corner. King. First time ball across. Merry tries to get in front of her marker. They've gone for a foot here.
Oh, okay, Mariana. New Zealand. It's food from Australia. Okay, you're looking for Australian food. I'll take a look. Thank you.
Mary was immediate, wasn't she?
There is a team referral from New Zealand. They are looking for a foot in the circle.
Looks like it's up off bone stick into her knee. So
Mariana, there's an Australian foot. Penalty corner, and New Zealand keeps their referral.
Okay, thank you, boss. Today, isn't she? Very quick decisions and right decisions, so that's good. So now they do get their second penalty corner of the match. Punt is there, Neil is there. Mary also in attendance in that order. Punt is the right of the three, Neil in the middle. A little shift, I'm sure, on the top of the circle. There's the movement. Yep, there's a little shift to the left. And everyone's confused.
Fortunately for
well, Kirsten Dwyer has been sent to the halfway line.
Ella Gunson it is.
Ella Gunson, in fact, has been sent.
So whereas with a defending corner, if you break the line, you have to defend with three. New Zealand can replace Ella Gunson on the circle edge with Julia King.
Oh, now the little shift. It seems a little pointless. But there you are. It's Neil, slapped. Good save from Wells. Ball across. That's a lovely ball across. And Mary gets a stick on it. And it's behind for a 16.
New Zealand opting for a different move in the end. It's Olivia Merry on the top with the slap. I think they're probably looking for the deflection from Webster in front of Wells. It didn't quite come off for them this time.
Inside the final three then of the first half. And Casey Easton's heavy touch almost gives possession to Jordan Grant. Cox misses the half volley, so does Roberts. And here is Flanagan, Slattery. Still going Slattery. Mickelson can't get it under control. And New Zealand do get the ball eventually. Sophie Cox. Oh no, the ball to Curtis. She never really got it away. Roberts wins possession and plays it into Cox. Flanagan to McMahon. To Kirsten Dwyer. Flanagan can't bring it under control. And we've got a little over 90 seconds remaining in the first half. It's been a fascinating first half. And, it's a close one, this one. Very close indeed, but New Zealand have the edge at the moment by a single goal. And the difference in this one is actually New Zealand's start. Improvisation from Webster. 60 seconds of the first half remaining. Can Australia find a breakthrough in that time? McMahon. Reverse stick. But frustration for Alan Cummins as that one balloons up. But the stick of Edwina Bone. Well brought down, really well brought down by Gunson. It's a card for Ella Gunson. Chance here for the Hockeyroos perhaps. Punt somehow gets to the ball. Finds Cox. Cox can't get past McMahon. McMahon will rattle it in towards the circle. Final couple of seconds, and there is the half-time hooter, and the Black Sticks are in front against the Hockeyroos. It's Anita Punt who's the difference. It's New Zealand 1, Australia 0. Well, what a half of hockey we've had. It's been close, it's been tight. Just the 3 penalty corners in it. Surprisingly, from an Australian point of view, they didn't go for Jodie Kenny from the first penalty corner. But New Zealand and Anita Punt are in front, and this second half is set up very nicely indeed. Remember, these two played a 3-match test series just before this Champions Trophy, and Australia won it, scoring late goals in 2 of the 3. But half-time here in Mendoza, New Zealand 1, Australia 0. Welcome back to the half-time interval of this first semi-final at the Women's Champions Trophy for 2014, and New Zealand had the upper hand against Australia. They lead by a goal to nil, courtesy of Anita Punt's first minute penalty corner, and here it is.
Exactly the start that New Zealand would have wanted. Within a minute, they've won the first penalty corner, and Anita Punt dispatches that absolutely brilliantly to hit the backboard, stick side. Does the goalkeeper go with a stick? Does she go with a pad? Wells opted to go with the pad, and the ball's just looped over it, gone in. And you would say, on the balance of play, New Zealand probably deserved to be 1-0 up at half-time. Australia tried as much as they could to come back into the game. Great opportunity for Curtis to make it 2-0, but Wells is very quick off her line.
And, Australia had their chances too. Here's Gabrielle Nance with one of them. Okay, I think we can hear from Mark Hager, the New Zealand coach.
Mark, a great first half for you guys, would you agree?
Sorry, say again?
A great first half for you guys, would you agree?
Yeah, no, I think we played well in the first 10 minutes and then it fell away, and Australia have had all the pressure on us and we've just hung on. So we've got to hold the possession for longer periods. We just can't go forward and turn it over, otherwise they'll punish us.
Did you give the girls any other advice in the half-time?
No, nothing to lose. I mean, we're the underdogs, so we just go for it, see what happens.
Brilliant, good luck, thank you.
It's good of Mark Hager to give us his time. Now here are the stats, and well, Australia, you can see dominating possession, same number of circle penetrations, same number of shots. It's just that New Zealand have converted one of their 2 penalty corners, and Australia haven't converted their 1. So, New Zealand did start positively. They haven't been as positive in the rest of that half. I'll get your thoughts on that in a moment, Mel Clulo. But social media, don't forget, we're on Facebook at facebook.com/FI Hockey. Please go on and let us know your thoughts on that platform. But if you're more of a Twitter person, our Twitter handle is at @FIH_hockey, #CT2014. We're also on Instagram and YouTube, where you can find us at FI Hockey. And also time to tell you about Player of the Year for 2014. The FIH have opened it up to you, the fans, for the very first time. And how it's going to work is that players playing in both Champions trophies, both here in Argentina and in India, the men's got underway today. The players in those will vote. That will be a percentage of the overall vote. The coaches in both tournaments will vote. That will be another percentage of the overall vote. And then you, the fans, will also get your chance to vote, and that will be the final percentage of the overall. And you can do that from a week on Monday, from the 15th of December. Keep tabs of what you do on our social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter. But a shortlist has been drawn up for you by a panel of experts, and from that shortlist you can choose your favourite in the categories. 3 categories in both the men's and the women's. And as I say, from the 15th of December you can vote. No, so your thoughts then on what Mark Hager had just said?
I think he's absolutely spot on, isn't he? I think coming into this game and possibly into the tournament, no one expected the Black Sticks to make it through to the semis. And they have come out here and they are the underdog, and sometimes it's easier to play as the underdog. No one expects you to win. You can play with some freedom. And I think they've worked exceptionally hard defensively in that first half. Yes, going forwards, maybe there's a few disappointments, but actually they've thwarted a pretty strong Australian attack in that first half.
Okay, we're almost ready for the second half to get underway. And Australia get us underway, attacking the goal to our right-hand side, and they opt to put New Zealand under early pressure, throw the aerial into the corner, and try and contain the Black Sticks down here. they've got the free hit. Don't forget Ella Gunson is serving a green card as Spence goes around the back of the New Zealand defence and runs out of play. And
I think because Gunson's off the pitch at the moment, Stacey Mickelson's playing at left half. As we've said, she's used to playing as a defender, so fairly easy switch to make for 2 minutes.
Although Nelson has possession, and here's a chance here for Slattery. Rutherford makes a good save, and Mickelson is there to complete the clearance. Rutherford, the busier of the two keepers now.
It's a pretty sloppy ball given away in the midfield. Slattery with the shot. Rutherford very quick off her line to narrow down the angles. Off the left pad, and Mickelson works back after making the initial mistake to clear the ball.
Mickelson can't beat Easton to the ball. Spence plays it down in the corner. This is Paris. Spence back inside, and Mickelson steps on Paris's stick, and that'll be a free hit to the black stick, and Gunson is back on. So it's 11 versus 11 once more. And New Zealand just can't get out of their own 25 right now. Clearance from Neil, but it only goes to the edge of the circle. Nelson plays it in. Slattery gets the shot away, and Rutherford equal to it once again. Spence, oh, they're around the back now. Paris can well, Paris has gone for goal, and I'm not sure Adam Cummins will be too impressed with that decision.
No, New Zealand giving the ball away a little bit cheaply. This is the first shot by Slattery on the turn, trying to beat goalkeeper near post. Rutherford saw it and cleared to safety, but this is Paris's shot. It's really unusual to see Australia taking shots like that. Maybe it's a sign that the pressure's building.
Kenny on the right side of this Hockey Roos defence. So Gunson across. Gunson's got Nanscon for company, and Curtis can't bring it under control. Kenny throws the aerial again. Gunson's underneath him. Gunson misses the first one. Neil, oh dear, gets it at the third attempt, and that almost let Spence, or Emily Smith, sorry, in round the back. This is Sophie Cox. Aerial ball thrown cross field ball. Brooke nailed out. Decides against playing back to Ella Gunson. Instead, just fires a pretty aimless ball up the park, but New Zealand get the rub of the green. Comes up off the Hockey Roos stick, and they get the free hit, which Roberts will take right down below our commentary position. Back to Gunson. Oh, Gunson almost gets robbed by Slattery. And, just a little sloppy at the moment, New Zealand. Now, can they put some pressure on Australia going forward? And it's all Australia at the moment, and there needs to be a change in thought process, and Nance gets on the reverse stick. It's high and wide as Slattery gets the ultimate commitment, sliding in on the far post. It's about 20 feet above her.
It is, but sometimes you just got to commit early if the ball's going to be ahead of you, and you expect that ball to be delivered flat on the floor. But New Zealand at the moment, they're causing their own problems. They haven't really got people showing up wanting the ball, and the turnovers happening fairly high up the pitch.
There goes Nance again. Good tackle from Charlton. Here is Kenny, and that's been cut out by Punt, and Merry can't get her stick on the ball, and here comes another wave of Hockeyroos attack. Free hit. Oh, they've turned it over here, but where's the outlet ball? Webster's just come on.
It's really difficult when Australia are piling on as much pressure as they are. New Zealand just needs to try and face pressure, show up for each other, give each other the pass, almost play through the press. Have the confidence to play the ball into the press. The players will collapse in and around the ball player if you can get it out and round to the other side quickly.
Gunson picks out Punt. Punt's lost possession. Nance gone to McMahon. It's like a pinball in there. And one thing is for sure, New Zealand can't play like this for the whole of the second half, because Australia will get at least one goal. Flanagan. Moves back to Kenny. Attard's on the left-hand side if Kenny wants. Kenny doesn't. She tries to find Flanagan again. Punt just tips the ball out of play. Nance gone. Shut down. Now Punt will try and bring it away. Punt to use her speed. Tries to play it infield. And that's going to be off McMahon's foot. All the way back there. Good advantage play by Mariana Rado. Charlton. She's got no options. She's just got no options at all. Oh, and she's caused herself more problems, and Ella Gunson more problems, by not giving it to Gunson first up. That's a good take though. And well, I thought they might have broken the Australian press, but Kenny's won it back. Cox has possession though in Australian territory. Left-hand ball is on for Charlton. She's found Charlton. Charlton into the 25, has a little look up, cracks it across. Deflection in front of the keeper. And then just leaving a stick in there was Rose Kettle. Nanscon. Nanscon up against Charlton. Yeah, good work from Charlton. Nanscon. Bone. All the way back out to Kenny. That's a nice ball to pick out McMahon. Bone. Well, Bone's first touch just gave the Black Sticks half a chance of getting possession, or at least a stick on the ball. 5:45-35 remaining in the third quarter. Still Australia looking for that equalising goal. They've been behind since the first minute. Bone. McMahon. Kenny. In it comes, and there once again. Now here's the chance. It's across the goal and it's in. It's been coming, and it's Amelia Spence who's got her stick on the ball, and it's New Zealand 1, Australia 1. We said New Zealand couldn't play like this for the whole of the second half without conceding at least one, and they have conceded the first one.
It's only a matter of time, really. Thompson with a pretty poor trap in there for New Zealand. She wasn't really under pressure. Brooke Paris with the ball across, and that's a great finish. Great reactions by Spence in there. It comes up off Samantha Charlton's stick. She's able to change her hands and just finish the ball nicely into the goal. And if she'd have missed it, Nanscombe was also there. And I think, as we said, it was only going to be a matter of time before Australia made their possession count.
And just reward for the Hockey Roos. Australia have been in this position in terms of the semi-finals of the Champions Trophy 15 of the previous 20 editions. They've won it 6, second on 4 occasions, third twice, fourth on 3 occasions, sorry. Flanagan loses out, and Curtis comes forward. Michaela Curtis round McMahon. Curtis can't get round Kenny though. And Flanagan gets back to feed Spence the goal score. Spence down the line, and Smith should never have got there really. Nicholson a bit undecided. Spence, that's a good take from Neil. Try to find Thompson. Smith leaves it for Flanagan. Free hit to the Black Sticks. Smith just being caught by Thompson's stick. Cox, no one there in black. Flanagan. Last off Nance. Smith charged it down. Falls to Bone. Bone with Mickelson in pursuit. Good work from Edwina Bone. Back it will come. Flanagan, well, trying to touch it onto Anthony Smith, but got that horribly wrong. Thompson brings it away, wins the free hit. Roberts, under all sorts of pressure, has to play it away, and they get a little fortunate there. The Black Stick, it came off the bottom of Spence's stick. Cox can take it into the Australia 25. Nice little ball back to Mary. Mary just got it stuck underneath her feet. Nanscombe will bring it away.
One thing New Zealand certainly have is pace up front with Curtis, Mickelson, Cox. They need to punt coming from midfield, and although you've got some really strong tacklers in this Hockey Roos defence, I think if New Zealand can move the ball around them with the speed that they've got, they're in with a chance of getting a second.
The problem is they haven't had enough possession. Smith loses out. Inside the final 80 seconds of the third quarter. New Zealand 1, Australia 1. Australia getting back on level terms in the third quarter, courtesy of Amelia Spence. And here goes Webster. Treya Webster. She's got no support, absolutely nothing. She wins the free hit, she had to. Webster up towards Cox, it's another free hit. Cox tries to fire it in. Attard, Hayward. And it goes against New Zealand. 34 seconds remaining. Flanagan throws the aerial, looking to find Paris, but underneath it is Grant. Grant, little look up. Nice little ball to Sophie Cox. Flanagan gets a stick on the ball. Here is Smith. Grant's there first. Now a chance for punt to run at the Hockey Roos, and perhaps she should have taken it on and try and gone round Nelson. And we're into the final 10 seconds, and we're going to go into the fourth quarter on level terms. It's going to be a 15-minute shootout for a place in the final. There is the three-quarter time hooter, and Australia are back on level terms with 15 minutes to play. It's New Zealand 1, Australia 1. So, well, as I say, a 15-minute shootout for the final, and Australia on the front foot.
Absolutely, they came out in that third quarter like we expected them to start the game and how we expected them to play. I think they've pressurised New Zealand exceptionally well, but I also think that New Zealand have caused some of their own problems. It is really intimidating to look up as a defender and see 6 or 7 yellow shirts in front of you, but your teammates have got to help you out. If you stood there over the ball in your own defending area, you need a teammate to help you get the ball out.
No getting stuck to the ball. They go behind you, you stay with your man defence. And we let the pressure come from reverse and from the midfield, and the midfield is keeping them one side and staying in the contest. Circle attack, be smart. If the T-squared is covered, hook it back to the centre. Yeah? Or transfer it again.
So that's the thought of Adam Cummins. Let's see if we can hear what Maycock saying. Okay, go.
That is the bottom line. Do you want it, or do you just want to go through the motions? You are playing within yourself. I don't care if you're tired. Pick it up. Come on.
Hagar laying down the rule there. They've got 15 minutes to create history here, New Zealand. They've never been in a Champions Trophy final. It is within their grasp. Can they do it? Australia get us underway in the fourth and final quarter of this semi-final match, and it's New Zealand 1, Australia 1, and just as they did at the start of the that's good work from Smith, who almost wins it back off Brooke Neal. Brooke Neal almost just played that ball out because she's so used to playing it, but it was never on. And not 5. Mickelson bursts forward, and now they'll get a... Hold on, someone's going off. It's Nelson. Well, Nelson is gone. Yeah, Ash Nelson's got a green card at the beginning of the fourth quarter here.
Casey Houston was slightly lucky with her 5 yards or 5 metres further back.
Mann picks out Bone. No, she doesn't. Benson just tips it off with Paris behind her. Bone takes. Paris trying to cut inside Gunson. Gunson reads the ball, and here is Cox. Lovely work from Cox. And McMahon trying to get back, but Sophie Cox now taking on Jodie Kenny. And Cox does really well, and then is manhandled off the ball. And New Zealand get all their momentum taken off. And Cox was in there. Charlton. Little touch. Comes off okay. Punted the circle. Lifted ball in. Flanagan with it on that left-hand side. It will go to a shootout if we can't decide a winner in 4 quarters in regulation time. The winners of this one will face the winners of the next semi-final, Argentina against the Netherlands. What a mouth-watering game that promises to be. Both semi-finals, fascinating contests. And they've finally lost patience with players not stopping the ball. with 13 minutes of the match remaining.
Got to make an attempt to stop the ball. That's what the terminology says. And
Mickelson and Curtis just getting each other way.
I just felt Sophie Cox had one down here that I think that New Zealand were really unlucky not to get away with that one. But I think certainly towards the circle edge, that's when umpires really do start to pick up when the ball has to be stopped dead.
Forward it comes from McMahon. That's a good trap from Charlton. Gets it strong. Has Gunson for support. Here is Gunson. Gunson finds Charlton. Gunson again. Good work from Ella Gunson. That's just wasted by Gunson. Bone to Attard. Kenny, that's good work from Anita Punt. Now's a chance here. Mickelson in front of Punt. Here is Mickelson. Mickelson into the circle. Can she get the shot away? Oh, Mickelson's little stop. Not sure why she stopped. And she should have just pulled the trigger.
That was a golden chance for New Zealand there. Two of the quickest players on the park with Anita Punt and Stacey Mickelson. Their link-up play has been brilliant in this tournament so far.
Cummins sees Attard bring it down under control. Nelson. Dwyer drops it out to Nelson, to Kirsten Dwyer. Flanagan. There is Nance. Nelson. Oh dear. Well, Australia get away with that. Now Nelson has plenty of time in which to deliver the ball. But there's no one attacking that far post, and Rutherford just steps over. Kenny gets a stick on the ball. Kirsten Dwyer, that's third-party obstruction by Ash Nelson. There goes Anita Punt. Mickelson. Oh, Mary came on as a rolling sub just a little bit too late. Eastham, and someone's got to pick up Slattery. Neil's working hard to get back for the Australia number 20, but the ball forward is picked up by Charlton. Paris does well to turn possession over. That's good work from Paris. Smith. Nance. Rebecca Dwyer. Nine to go then in this first semi-final.
This is the opportunity for Mickelson. She had an opportunity really to run to Neil Attard, and I would have backed Stacey Mickelson to beat Attard. And I think one thing Neil Attard does bring to this Hockey Roos side is experience. She knew not to commit to the tackle and make the decision for Mickelson.
That's a good work from Mickelson. It's Mickelson and Attard once again. This time Mickelson does get the better of Attard. She's got the better of her on pace as well. Mickelson driving to the circle edge, trying to pick up Curtis. And I think it's Flanagan who tips it away. Kenny's there. There's it upfield. Australia have dominated the opening 6-7 minutes, and New Zealand perhaps with an opportunity to have a little bit of pressure themselves here. King up against Nelson, still going. King onto the reverse stick, tries to get the reverse shot in, and it's hit Flanagan. And Flanagan gets the free hit. It was below the knee, it seemed. There we go, let's have another look. Well, maybe not. Paris runs into traffic. And it's Kirsten Dwyer. I think she's just got hit here.
It's a dangerous ball by Gloin, sorry. Fortunately, up off the arm onto her own face, so not too much damage done.
Kenny comes penalty corner. Oh, that's inside. I think they're going to review this and they're going to go outside. I think that's inside.
Hello? Yes, you want to know if it's inside or outside? Yeah. Okay, I'll take a look.
I think 1 foot's in, 1 foot's out, and it's hit the foot that's in.
Well, there you go then. I think from this angle, it's left knee first. And it comes.
No, this was inside or outside. It's okay?
So it's up off the stick, left knee first. Watch this. Up off the stick, there, onto the leg. Let's see from this angle here, I think, better. There. New Zealand not going to get their 40 seconds to put their kit on here. Let's
Mariana, yeah, it is inside the circle. It's a penalty corner, and Australia keeps their referral. Okay, thank you, Carl.
Short-handed New Zealand.
Awesome.
Webster gets back. Kenny's there. And McMahon also.
Scored 2 the other day from exactly this position, Jodie Kenny.
Going down to the keeper's right. Here we go then, Australia to Kenny. Kenny on goal. She's gone the other way and it's missed the target, but I've got a feeling that was pretty close.
Yeah, right at the last minute she just opens up her wrist and that really hasn't missed by much. That's going to be the angle here.
Oh. That is a very, very close drag flick. Mary up against Kenny, wins the free hit. Taken quickly. King will try and keep this in play. King on the reverse stick. How many of those have we seen today?
Don't know what's wrong with the old-fashioned forehand.
We're 5.5 minutes away from our second shootout of the day. A little earlier on, China beat Germany 5-4, sudden death. It was 4-all after the first 5. After a 0-all draw in regulation time. China actually with the better of the chances. Had a penalty stroke saved by Evie Frank. And also Germany cleared one off the line. Got our fullest crowd, or biggest crowd, should I say, of the tournament so far here today. And now this is because Argentina are taking on the Netherlands in the second semi-final. Roberts. Up in towards Mary. Mary looks like she's run out of gas here. As Slattery comes back inside. King makes the tackle. Taken quickly. No, Nanskon wanted to take it quickly. Now she weighs up her options. Across it comes. And Rutherford makes the save. Still not out of harm's way. And it is from Smith. Chance here. Real chance. And Slattery gets a stick on it and takes it away from goal. Gunson with a little rush of blood to the head, tries to clear it on the reverse stick side. And Smith, she's trying to refer this. She's having a big conversation with Mariana Rado. And it comes from Nelson. It's another free hit. Kettle gives it away. Comes from Nelson, and that's a bit of a waste from the Australian number 8. But a real chance there for Australia.
Ash Nelson with the opportunity, and Slattery is in the right position, definitely. Australia always looks to try and get somebody in front of the goalkeeper. Self-defence probably more than anything else, but you wouldn't have put it past her just to get an edge and send Rutherford the wrong way.
Nicholson can't be found by Kettle. And McMahon and Kettle. McMahon's got a good engine. That's a touch off Neil, and that's going to be a long corner. 2.5 remaining in the piece. Is there to be a winner in regulation time? Nicholson loses out. Nelson crashes one across, all the way through. Slattery, she couldn't bring it under control with the first touch and then nearly improvised beautifully.
Yeah, fantastic. You definitely would expect Slattery to make that trap, but that's just what you expect from the Hockeyroos. They really do make something out of nothing, and it's a quality effort. She will be disappointed with that touch, there's no doubt about it. Maybe slightly disorientated, didn't really know where the goal was once the ball popped up. That's a golden chance for the Hockeyroos there.
Oh, it's a long corner. Flanagan let it go. She wasn't told by her teammates. And a little bit of pressure here for New Zealand if they can make it count. Kenny does well. Really good defending from Jodie Kenny. And it's Black Sticks ball. Nelson's picked up a knock. She's feeling her right leg. Inside the final 80 seconds. Kenny, is she going to throw this one long? No, Eastham has it. Webster in hot pursuit. A goal here would settle things. And Paris up off Gunson. And well, Paris has won the free hit, which Nelson will take. Back to Kenny. Kenny's going to wind up a ball into the circle, but it doesn't get past the first line of defence. Curtis dispossessed by Smith inside the final 40 seconds. Curtis gets it. And a chance here perhaps for the Black Sticks. Mickelson inside Flanagan. Mickelson into Webster. Webster with a chance to win it for the Black Sticks. And she doesn't even test the keeper. It's a free out to Australia, and it looks as if we are going to a shootout. Flanagan doesn't look to be in any hurry. 5 seconds remaining. Crack forward. And it's behind, and we are going to a shootout. Our second of the day. New Zealand and Australia can't be split in 60 minutes. After 4 quarters, it's New Zealand 1, Australia 1. Well, Malclulo, Australia got the one, but they couldn't find the second one.
No, it's gutsy defending by New Zealand. I don't think it was the greatest game by either side, if I'm honest. I think when they look at themselves in possession, they will be disappointed, but 1-1 at full time is probably a fair reflection. I think Australia had the better chances, certainly in that second half, and, well, at least we got the excitement of the shootout.
Well, New Zealand have never been to a final. Australia have been to 10 previously. Who will be here tomorrow in the gold medal match? After 16 minutes, it's New Zealand 1, Australia 1. So here are the highlights. That's the opening goal from Anita Punt, and it was a very good stroke, drag flick, sorry. Perfect start for the Black Sticks. And they had their opportunities, didn't they, in that first half, and you kind of felt that New Zealand needed to take their opportunities when they had them.
Yeah, I think Mark Hagar said it all with the 10-minute spell that they had. They really did have some good opportunities, but you know, one thing they really did well is they limited Australia to just the 2 penalty corners. It's been a massive threat for them in this tournament, with Jodie Kenny currently sat on five goals, and I think it was just a gutsy performance. You know, they struggled to get the Black Sticks struggled to get the ball out in that second half, but they stuck to the guns.
So let's have a look at the stats. 9 penetrations, just the 3 shots for the Black Sticks, 13-9 for Australia. Possession opponent's half, look at that, 2/3 Australia, almost 2/3, 1/3 New Zealand, but Australia, no penalty corners for them today. So we're a couple of minutes away from the shootout. And looks as if the players for New Zealand will be Anita Punt, Mickelson, and Georgia Barnett, the keeper. Looks like she is going to be in the post for this one. That's a brave call from Mark Hager. Sam Charlton's there, Julia King. And Treya Webster. No, it's Gunson, in fact. Number 12, Gunson. Australia. Looks like it's Nanscon, Easton, Smith, McMahon, and Kenny. So, we are 90 seconds away from the start of the shootout, and the news is, from the Black Sticks camp, is Georgia Barnett is going to be in goal. There she is, got her helmet on. You can see Rutherford in the background without her helmet and gloves and stick. And Ash Wells will continue for the Hockeyroos. So, it's a shootout to decide which team will be the first to book their place in the 2014 Women's Champions Trophy final tomorrow afternoon, early evening. And the two sides just getting ready for the shootout. Taking in that goal away to our right-hand side. Barnett, the youngster, who won only her 6th cap against the Dutch earlier in proceedings in the tournament, and it's going to be Australia who go first. Barnett making her way to the goal, and it's going to be Nanscon first, for Australia. Here we go then. 8 seconds for Nanscon to try and beat Barnett. 8 seconds for Barnett to try and keep Nanscon out. Nanscon up against Barnett. Barnett now backpedals. Barnett, oh, she's given her too much time. Can't give her that space. You've got to keep the pressure on. Barnett backed off and Nanscon didn't make any mistake.
Initially a great play by Barnett to come out. That was definitely the error. She's off balance, trying to backpedal to get back on the line.
And it's Stacey Mickelson up first for the Black Sticks. Up against Ashley Wells. Mickelson up against Wells. Mickelson trying to take Wells away. She's only got a couple of seconds left and never really looked like she knew what she wanted to do with that.
No, it starts off initially running away, which is normally when you run off on that angle, you're going to come back inside onto your reverse stick. Tried to feint and unfortunately mistrapped the ball.
So Casey Eastham now for the Hockey Roos. Barnett comes to the penalty stroke spot again. She's gone back again as Barnett, but she makes the save. Really good work from Barnett, much more balanced on that attempt. So Anita Punt steps forward. One captain against another now.
Does really well there. Backs off a little bit, but not as much as the first one. Eastham didn't really do enough.
So Anita Punt to get New Zealand on the scoreboard. Punt against Wells. Well, a change of tactic, but not a change of result for the Black Sticks.
Opting to take the one-on-one competition out of the way. Tops the ball. That's not the greatest of connections by Anita Punt.
So now it's Carrie McMahon to make it 2-0 to the Hockey Roos. This would really put the pressure on the Black Sticks. Here goes McMahon up against Barnett. And she makes no mistake. It's 2-0 and Ella Gunson really has to score. If she doesn't, the next player for Australia can win it.
It's great composure by McMahon.
Gunson has to succeed where Mickelson and Punt have failed before. Gunson looking a bit more purposeful, hits the bar, and that is a miss. And New Zealand have missed their first three. It was a post, in fact, but now Emily Smith can win it.
It's a great connection by Gunson. She's beaten Wells, there's no doubt about it. Hits the middle of the post.
So Barnett has to save the next two. Smith then to win it for Australia. Smith sees the first one saved, scores on the second attempt, and it is Australia who are through to the final, their 11th Champions Trophy final. They have beaten New Zealand 3-0 on a shootout after the first 60 minutes finished 1-1.
It's fantastic play initially by Burnett. Stay up, make that save. Unfortunately, she couldn't get any power in the clearance, and Emily Smith using all her experience just to remain calm and composed. Gets it under control, and it's pretty close to the inside of the post, but it doesn't matter. And clinical shootout from Australia.
But she's just moving to her left, isn't she? That's well taken. That one crossing line about a second, excuse me, before it crossed the line. So we know our first finalists. It is the Hockeyroos. Australia have beaten New Zealand 3-0 on a shootout. Well, Mal, on the balance of play, Australia deserve it. New Zealand desperately close to their first ever Champions Trophy final, but they just didn't do enough in the second half.
No, they didn't. They seemed to run out of steam a little bit, and you're going to when you're absorbing so much pressure by Australia. And it's just a horrible way to win a game, lose a game. To be honest, I think there's a lot of things that New Zealand can be extremely proud of, and hopefully they can, you know, take that form and that confidence and the positives from today's game into the bronze medal game tomorrow.
Well, I'm delighted to say that Anita Punt has taken time out to come and speak to Sarah Thomas, so we thank her for that. But let's hear now from the Black Sticks captain.
Anita, to lose on shootouts, that must be absolutely devastating.
Yeah, unfortunately we're making it quite a normal thing that we seem to do, but you know, Australia stepped up and obviously it's a bit disappointing for us.
But in the first half you put in a really good performance and you can take confidence from that moving into the bronze medal match now.
Yeah, we had a really good first half. Unfortunately, we couldn't put it back, couldn't put it to them there. But you know, I'm really proud of the girls and how well we've done. But you know, we've got another game tomorrow, so we'll be fighting for the bronze medal.
Brilliant, and good luck with that. Thank you.
Yeah, she mentioned being a habit. They lost to England at the same finals of the Commonwealth Games in a shootout. Well, they've got to regroup. They were desperately close to making history for women's hockey in New Zealand, but they can still emulate their finish of 3 years ago, and they got the bronze medal. And as Australia celebrate, I think we're going to get a chance to hear from Casey Easton, the Hockeyroos captain, who has joined Sarah Thomas.
Casey, the first spot in the final, you must be thrilled.
Yeah, very happy. It's something that we've been working hard on not only through this tournament but throughout the year. We set this as a goal, so we've achieved it, and now we're setting the goal of the gold medal as well.
Brilliant, and can you just describe how intense it is to actually take a shuttle in front of a crowd like this?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, but we're well practiced. We do a lot of it training back in Australia for this. Our goalkeepers study hard and study the opposition players pretty well, so we've got a great off-field staff who really know that this can come down to the win or loss of a match, so we do really take care of this aspect of the game.
That's brilliant, and best of luck for the final, Casey. Thank you.
So Australia are in the final. The last time they're in a Champions Trophy final was back in 2009 in Sydney. They lost to Argentina 4-3 on strokes. Before that, 2005 in Canberra, Australia, they lost 5-4 to the Netherlands on strokes. So they have a chance to atone for either of those finals tomorrow, because they will face either the Netherlands or Argentina in the Champions Trophy final. And what a game that promises to be. So this is the state of play so far today. England beat Japan by 3-1. They'll face China, who beat Germany 5-4 on a penalty shootout. Australia, well, they won 3-0 on a shootout and will face either Netherlands or Argentina for gold. New Zealand will face the losers for the silver. So there you have it. One team's in. We've got two left battling it out for the one remaining spot. Who will join them? Australia have beaten New Zealand 3-0 in the shootout.